Hey, what's up everybody? This is my review of Transformers Dark of the Moon Voyager class Sentinel Prime. And Sentinel Prime comes packaged in robot mode. So I'll be showing you the transformation from robot to vehicle and from vehicle back into robot mode. So first thing, let us take a close look at the mech tech weapon here. In my opinion, it's pretty cool. And I think it's one of the better of the mech tech weapons. Basically, to activate it, you press down on this black button here. Really cool, with a nice big barrel at the end there. And of course, you can lock it in place by just pressing down and turning it to the left or the right. And because of the way that it actually is used in vehicle form, you can actually peg it onto the back. There's this little half peg here. You've got your peg here, and you want to just peg it in like this, and that just will go in place like that for like storage, which is kind of nice. So I'll go ahead and take this off, and we'll take a look at the figure here. There are only a couple issues I have with it. Well, yeah, a couple. Looks great from the front. From the side, not so much. You got this solid black hinge right here, and there's no way to collapse it or fold it down or anything like that. So you have to deal with that from the side. Then you have the backpack here, and it is a backpack. There's no way around that. You know, at least with the leader class Sentinel Prime, you could rotate out these, and they become kind of like wings or a cape. But this is all one piece of interconnected plastic. There's a hinge there that connects these two flaps here, if you will, onto this central gray piece here. Articulation. Well, oddly enough, the head just appears to be on a swivel joint. In other words, there's no posing his head looking up. You can't move it except for side to side. You have a swivel joint here at the shoulder. Arms can go out like that. Swivel at the bicep, and a bend at the elbow. However, there is no wrist articulation, and there is also no waist articulation. Legs can go forward pretty far, like that, and they actually can go back by a pretty good degree as well. You can see there, and extremely out to the side like that. You have a swivel and a bend at the knee, and then you have just a little bit of, you know, well, a lot of movement here for the ankle, but that is all you have for articulation. One thing about the foot, though, below this joint here, this is a solid piece of plastic, which is good because it helps the figure stand, in my opinion. The figure is a little bit back heavy. You kind of have to work with the figure to get it to stand. Having the mech tech weapon in his hand helps, because that adds a little weight to the front there. So, size comparisons. Well, let me get this guy standing up here first. He's kind of leaning forward, but that'll do. Here is Voyager class Megatron, of course from the same line of toys. And I would say that in the actual movie, Sentinel Prime should be taller. As it is, they're about, here's the top of Megatron's head, they're about the same height. So there's that. Then I'll bring in Deluxe Class Barricade. Get a look at that. And finally, I will show you what is essentially Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Bumblebee. So there you go, size comparisons for robot mode. So now we will begin the transformation into vehicle form. First thing I like to do, there's a tab here and a slot. Untab that, and you're going to fold out the cab section of the vehicle, and you want to fold it all the way out like that. Then just let that sit back there. I'll go ahead and transform the legs here because they're a little easier than the upper part of the vehicle. Rotate them around like that so you have the what were the knees facing away from you. You have this piece of plastic here. I'm going to fold that up like that. These flaps here peg into the side there, like that. Sorry about that. So you should have your figure looking like this now. Go ahead and peg these together, and that's going to form the back of the vehicle. You want to basically take the shoulders here and untab them. And it's kind of neat the way they did this. Is there's a little groove there, and there's a small, short little peg, and it just it actually holds very securely. So we're going to take that, and this whole assembly here rotates down and back. And you want to have the arms positioned so you actually have them like that. Because if you notice here, there's a peg. The peg is going to peg into the hands once we get further into the transformation process here. But for now, just bring these back. You want to angle these shoulder armors there in, and make sure you have the hand like that, so it can accept that peg hole. So, onto the chest transformation. This wheel here, you want to basically grab onto and push it forward. So it's going to actually, well, first let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and, this chest and the head is on one assembly, so as you push the chest down, the head goes down like that, and you want to just angle the chest like that. So this part here for the front wheels, I'm going to grab onto this, bring it up like that. There's actually a slot, and you can see there's the tab there. So you're going to want to just line those up so they actually peg together or slot together. You can see that like that, and just use a little bit of force, and there you go. You got the vehicle there, or the front of the vehicle transformed. So now the trick is to line up the peg holes here with the hands, and if I've done everything right here, they should tab in together or peg in together. Sides of the vehicle come down like this, as you can see. Well, actually, you want to take this out, take this panel out. This becomes the side windows. You can see like that. These fold down. You want to take this section here, rotate that out like that. And this black front bumper kind of goes a little bit over there like that. And then these pieces fold down. And then you got to get this all flush against each other. So what you got to do basically is kind of push, and there you go. They kind of all kind of come together like that. And there's actually a slot and a tab that goes in right there and there. Bring that up. And there you go, vehicle mode for Sentinel Prime. And then you can plug this in here. This is kind of like I guess a mechanism for like what would be a fire hose type of mechanism here. There we go. And of course it works somewhat. The MechTech weapon does. See. So there it is, vehicle mode. Now, size comparisons. Well, I actually happen to have the Voyager class Cannon Force Ironhide in vehicle mode. And now, pickup truck and big fire truck. They should be, different sizes, but they aren't. So you can see just the size difference there. And also, I'll bring in my usual deluxe class figure of Swerve, so you can see sports car versus fire engine truck. So yeah, just to give you an idea of the scale on this figure. One thing to note about this is, which is really cool, I think, on either side of these rear panels here, it has a Autobot symbol, but it's kind of weathered and scratched out. Same deal over here as well. So that's kind of cool. And I'll go ahead and transform this guy back into robot mode. So just untab everything again. Get these panels out. There we go. Rotate the bottom part of the legs around. Form the feet. Back here at the arms, you want to take this whole assembly here. Rotate up like that. Peg in the shoulders. Bring down the arms. And these fold back like that. And then this collapses all the way up like that. And then you just take this tab here, and that tabs into place. Oops, didn't fold it down far enough. Tabs into place back there. Then we want to take the wheels back here, and these are a little bit tricky. Let's see here. Actually, it's this one usually that gives me the problems. Let me go ahead and start with this one. You can kind of see the process here. There we go. Kind of have to angle it out a little bit. There we go. And simply push up the chest and automorph, out comes the head. Oops, can't move this here. So there you are, transformation back into robot mode. So as you can see, it's a much more accessible figure in terms of transformation than the leader class figure. I actually have the leader class figure, but this one is much more fun to play with just because the transformation is obviously much more simple, or as I said, accessible. So like for example, if you're thinking of getting this for a younger kid and you're trying to figure out whether the leader class version or the Voyager class version would be better, well, kind of just think about how your child is and whether he would have the patience to learn the transformation for a leader class figure. If not, then I think a Voyager class figure would be an acceptable substitute for the leader class version. So, yeah, true, it doesn't have the shield, doesn't have the sword, so that's a letdown. But I don't think they could have really. Hasbro could not really have probably pulled that off with a Voyager size figure. So there you go, a review of Transformers Dark of the Moon Voyager class Sentinel Prime. And at Walmart, these Voyager class Dark of the Moon figures have been on sale, at least recently anyways, for around $15. So about $5 off the normal retail price of $20. So yeah, it's worth a pickup, especially considering that the Transformers Prime figures now are close to $12, $13. So you can get yourself a Voyager class figure at Walmart for $15. So, all right. So thanks for watching. This, of course, has been a review of Transformers Dark of the Moon Voyager class Sentinel Prime.